It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh yes, he's glittering.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Mike Tyson has never been a man to pull any punches, and now the truth is coming out about how close he was to Diddy and how much he regrets it.
I don't know, I didn't feel good. I just didn't feel good talking to these people, knowing that I took those shots. And sometimes your best friend, he doesn't become your enemy, but we don't associate like we used to.
They arranged for victims and commercial to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial workers.
Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs was arrested on Monday in a jaw-dropping STN case, accused of forcing women into wild freak-off orgies and running a shady criminal empire built on misconduct. The 54-year-old music star was dramatically arrested at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City. Now he's facing charges of STIing and transportation for charges he pleaded not guilty to in a Manhattan courtroom on Tuesday. The accusations stem from these so-called freak-offs, where Diddy allegedly forced women into acts with claims that he even recorded the encounters, according to a federal indictment. In a desperate bid to avoid jail, Diddy offered up his own home and his mom's house as collateral for a whopping $50 million bail, but the judge wasn't having it. Bail denied.
Combs reportedly offered $50 million for bail. Federal prosecutors argued he shouldn't be released. Ultimately, the judge agreed, refusing to grant bail and sent Combs to jail.
If convicted, Diddy could be staring down more than 2 decades in prison, and Gene Deal believes Diddy wouldn't survive it.
Do you think it's possible that he might commit?
When you're a narcissist, there's always a possibility because you're suffering.
With all these allegations flying around, Diddy is reportedly now in therapy, according to his lawyer, Mark Agnafilo. The 3-count indictment revealed disturbing details about these S-fueled marathons, where Diddy supposedly flew in S-workers from around the world for what turned into days-long orgies. The feds say he orchestrated these parties, even participating from the sidelines, and provided the women with like ecstasy, ketamine, and GHB to keep things going. After the freak-offs, both Diddy and the women allegedly received IV fluids to recover from all the physical exhaustion and use. Prosecutors also claim Diddy's employees were in on it, secretly booking hotel rooms and stocking them with baby oil and extra bed sheets. When the authorities raided his homes earlier this year, they supposedly found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil
and they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Oh, and there were 3 AR-15 rifles with scratched-off serial numbers in his Miami bedroom closet. The guns were disassembled, but still loaded with magazines.
They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large-capacity drum magazine.
This isn't Diddy's first brush with controversy. Back in 2011, he was allegedly involved in a gunpoint, and now, the feds say he was paying male S-workers for the freak-offs, but not the women. Instead, he allegedly beat them and to destroy their finances if they refused to participate. One wild party in a Manhattan penthouse reportedly left Diddy with a $46,000 bill for damages. A source said the hotel even charged extra because the couch had baby oil stains. According to authorities, Diddy wasn't working alone. His employees and associates helped him pull off these freak-offs, causing damage to hotel rooms wherever they went. The indictment paints a picture of Diddy as the head of a criminal enterprise involved in STing, forced labor, offenses, and more. The Grammy winner allegedly lured women into his disturbing world by promising romantic relationships and showering them with gifts like rent payments and cars, before turning their lives into a nightmare. People think this is the end of Diddy, and for good reason. One person tweeted, "Diddy is finished. What a gross human being," whilst another person added, "Diddy has always been a piece of once cornered me in a parking lot and threatened me while surrounded by his crew because his management were at their job. F him. Hope he spends the rest of his life behind bars." The charges against him also bring back memories of a relationship with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, who sued him last November for physical A, and mental A. Many of the allegations about Diddy's behavior first surfaced with that lawsuit, which sent shockwaves through the industry. Cassie Ventura's lawsuit painted a shocking picture of her relationship with Sean Diddy Combs, claiming that he coerced her into acts with male adults, acts she said she was even forced to arrange herself. According to the lawsuit, Diddy would then watch, film the encounters, and pleasure himself. These disturbing freak-offs were at the center of her November lawsuit, which dove deep into the decade of alleged A she endured while dating him. Ventura, an R&B singer once signed to Diddy's label Bad Boy Records, said the first of these freak-offs happened just months into their relationship. She was 22 at the time, he was 40. One particularly violent incident detailed in the suite took place at an LA hotel in March 2016. After another one of these freak-offs, Diddy allegedly punched Ventura and threw a glass vase at her. The lawsuit claimed he later paid the hotel $50,000 to get the security footage of that night erased. And in a shockingly fast resolution, Ventura's lawsuit was settled within a day. At the time, Diddy had said, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best." Sources later revealed that Diddy reportedly paid her around $30 million to settle the case. During Tuesday's hearing, Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnafilo, argued that the latest allegations involved consenting adults, not STIing. Is it STing? No, not if everybody wants to be there, Agnafilo claimed, arguing that the government had no business stepping into people's bedrooms. He insisted that comparing Diddy to notorious S-criminals like Ghislaine Maxwell, R. Kelly, or Jeffrey Epstein was unfair. "This is different," he said. "These were consenting adults." However, the federal indictment painted a much darker picture, accusing Diddy of using violence to keep his sordid parties secret. Prosecutors said he would hit, kick, and drag women by their hair during these freak-offs, sometimes injuring them so badly that he had to hide them away for days until they recovered. Diddy also allegedly filmed these encounters to use as ensuring the women stayed silent and obedient. According to the indictment, he would choke, shove, and throw people to the ground, using the tapes as leverage.
Not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes.
Beyond physical control, Diddy reportedly dangled career opportunities and financial support over the victims' heads, controlling everything from their appearance to their health records and even deciding where they could live. With these serious charges looming, Diddy not only faces possible federal prison time but also the risk of a major financial blow, despite his billionaire status. The government plans to seize any and all property, real and personal, along with an unspecified sum of money linked to Diddy's alleged crimes, according to the indictment. The charges stretch all the way back to 2008, with accusations of STIing and transporting individuals for and beginning in 2009. A year ago, Sean Combs was standing in Times Square receiving the key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice, said Manhattan U.S. Attorney Damian Williams during a Tuesday press conference. By June, Diddy had already returned the key after Mayor Eric Adams asked for it back. In 1996, Sean Diddy Combs found himself in hot water after being convicted of criminal mischief for allegedly threatening a New York Post photographer with a gun. He ended up with a $1,000 fine, which seems like a slap on the wrist for waving around a firearm. But things took a far darker turn in December 1999. Diddy and his then-girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, were involved in a shooting at Club New York in Manhattan. He was charged with illegal gun possession and accused of persuading his driver, Wardell Fenderson, to take the fall for a gun found in their getaway vehicle. Lopez was arrested with Diddy but released after 14 hours when the charges against her were dropped. Diddy, after a tense legal battle, was acquitted of all charges.
Diddy found the witness against Sean and brought him forward. So, I guess that's how you do your man.
Fast forward to the past few years, and Diddy has faced a deluge of SA allegations. These lawsuits, although filed recently, include claims dating back to the 90s and early 2000s. In November 2023, Joy Dickerson, along with another unnamed plaintiff, filed lawsuits accusing Diddy of SA and coercing them into during the early 90s. Dickerson's accusations stem from her time working with Diddy on a music video project. Then in December 2023, an anonymous woman identified only as Jane Doe filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy and two others of R-ing her in 2003 when she was 17. The alleged A took place after they and transported her to a studio in New York. Diddy's legal team has been fighting to dismiss the case, citing expired statutes of limitations, but the case is still pending. In February 2024, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones came forward with a lawsuit accusing Diddy of unwanted S-contact, forged said acts with S-workers, and coerced use. A month later, in March 2024, Diddy's residences in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by the Department of Homeland Security, reportedly connected to a sting investigation. Diddy's lawyer called the raid a media-fueled witch hunt based on civil lawsuits, claiming it was all meritless. Then came another bombshell in April 2024. Diddy was named as a co-defendant in a lawsuit involving his son, Christian King Combs. The suit, filed by Grace O'Marquet, alleged that Christian SO'd her on a yacht and that Diddy played a role in the cover-up, even bribing the yacht's captain to keep quiet. The allegations kept coming. In May 2024, former fashion student April Lampros filed a lawsuit claiming Diddy S.'d her multiple times between the mid-90s and early 2000s. June 2024 brought yet another accusation, this time from Derek Lee Smith, a Michigan prisoner. Smith accused Diddy of saying him at a Detroit party nearly 30 years ago.
Diddy, he go to prison and he offered the inmate $2.3 million to settle the case, so.
That's what the paperwork said.
When Diddy failed to show up in court, Smith was awarded a default judgment of $100 million. Diddy's legal team is currently fighting to overturn that ruling, citing expired statutes of limitations. As if that weren't enough, in September 2024, Don Richard, a former member of Danity Kane, sued Diddy, accusing him of SA and psychological A during her time on the reality show Making the Band 3, which Diddy created. With a history of lawsuits spanning decades, the accusations against Diddy keep piling up, and now they've caught up to him. But SA isn't the only thing bringing Diddy down. There's talk that he's actually also involved in a lot of high-profile M's. Federal investigators are now looking into whether Sean Diddy Combs had any role in Tupac Shakur's 1996 According to The Sun, the Clark County District Attorney's Office in Las Vegas is reviewing claims made during Dwayne Kef D. Davis's trial that potentially linked Diddy to people with motives to K. Shakur. This is Tupac's cousin, and he believes Diddy should be held accountable for his M.
He needs to be held accountable. It has to be accountability from him.
The Sun reports that Diddy's name appeared 77 times in documents submitted by prosecutors who opposed Davis's third bail request, which was denied last month. Meanwhile, Dwayne Keffe D. Davis has been in custody since his arrest in September 2023. Davis, a former gang leader, has repeatedly claimed that he orchestrated Tupac's Diddy's request, though he insists that Diddy never paid the promised $1 million for the hit. Prosecutors believe Davis made these statements thinking he was still protected by an immunity deal he struck with the LAPD back in 2008 during their investigation into the Tupac and Christopher Notorious Big Wallace. Davis's lawyers argue that their client fabricated these claims for financial gain. Davis and Diddy had crossed paths in the 90s because Davis had been hired for security by Diddy's Bad Boy Records. However, Diddy has consistently denied ever offering a hit on Tupac, and he has never been charged in connection with. Back in 2008, Diddy told All Hip Hop, "Neither Biggie nor I had any knowledge of any attack before, during, or after it happened. It is a complete lie." But for nearly 30 years, rumors have swirled about Diddy's possible involvement in Tupac's death. The speculation has persisted, partly because Biggie's in LA just 6 months later felt like retaliation. Both rappers were closely tied to their respective label heads, Biggie to Diddy and Tupac to Suge Knight, at a time when the East Coast-West Coast rivalry in hip-hop was at its peak. An unnamed source connected to the Las Vegas investigation told The Sun, "The feds know who Las Vegas police investigators have spoken to about the case and are aware of the witnesses too. What this means for Diddy, we'll have to wait and see." Davis's trial has been delayed until March 2025, giving his attorney Carl Arnold more time to review the extensive evidence in the case. Do you think there's more to come out about Diddy? Let us know in the comments.